Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special May the 4th Beer, Toys and Banter. I'm Nez.
I'm Dunny.
And we're joined today by actor and creature performer KeithDe'Winter. Keith, how are you?
Hey,
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
So let's kick off straight away. Keith, what beer are you going to be drinking while we're chatting?
Well, that's probably the most important question to ask, isn't it, today?
Absolutely.
It's May 4th celebrations, yeah? So I thought I would dig out this lovely glass that I got for Christmas.
Nice.
A Stormtrooper special there. And the beer that I'm drinking tonight is a Coors Light.
Nice. So is that your beer of choice then, Keith? Are you a lager drinker rather than a craft beer drinker?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to drinking proper ale. My wife, she loves the ale, but I can't touch it. So I'm just a lager drinker. And then I move on to the shorts like JD and Southern Comfort and any other drink that.
So he's just a lager drinker. He's just a whiskey drinker.
I have to say that I'm the complete opposite. I can't touch lager. It's too fizzy, too gassy for me. So I prefer the beer, an ale.
Yeah, well, I used to drink different lager, but again, I found the same thing, that it's too gassy. So I thought I need to move on to something else because I'm in this keep fit regime that I'm trying to keep in shape. I thought if I'm I don't drink all the time, but when I do, I thought I want something that I really do enjoy. And the Coors Light, I moved on to that, and I thought, wow, this is really nice. It's not as gassy, and I enjoy it more. Yeah. Good.
Maybe you can give me some tips on this keeping fit thing, because I am piling the weight on while we're in lockdown. All I want to do is eat and drink. There's not much else to do, is there?
No, there isn't. And because the gyms are closed, it was a question of finding out what I could do in the home. So it's trying to make weights and make something heavy that I can pick up and lift every day. And there's other things that you can do that you don't need any weights or anything for. But then it's motivating yourself. That's the hardest thing to do. Being at home, and it's finding that motivation to get up early enough to then do a workout. And it does make you feel better. And certainly for me, it's all about the mind and the body. But I'm enjoying it, and I've kept at it. So yeah, it's
that's why I always put my beer at the bottom of the fridge, and then I've got to bend down for it.
I mean, you may have seen, Keith, on Facebook that Dunny and I do 5, 6, 7K walks 3-4 times a week. And we've gone from that to basically, I'm just taking, we are shielding my mum who lives in the granny flat with us. And so we are only going out to take the dogs out. And we're doing that quite late in the evening when there's nobody about. So, and they're getting old now, the dogs, so they won't do the long walk. So we've gone from that kind of walking to just taking the dogs out for half an hour in the evening. And because I, kind of realised I was getting a bit chunky, I run up and down the stairs 10, 12 times, which is enough for me at my age, just to get my heart beating first thing in the morning. But I've got it, as soon as lockdown's lifted, I can't wait to get back. Because, it's not just the walking, but Dunny and I come up with a lot of our ideas, and, it's a social thing as much as an exercise thing.
Yeah, because, as good as doing what we're doing now is, it's not as good as being in the same room with that person, so you can feed all these ideas back. And like you just said, the keeping healthy, it helps because you're out and about walking. And obviously you guys do a lot. You're always out and about. And obviously I see the things that you post on Facebook if you're out and about. So that does keep you fit. Now, being locked in the house and all you can do is go for a small walk or just out in the garden, it does tend to, you're trying to fill your time. You think, what can I do? And you come inside and you think, right, I'll watch a bit of TV, which is great. But then it's the drink and then the food comes. So, and it's not that you're having meals, you start snacking. And even, don't get me wrong, just because I'm trying my best to keep fit, I have been eating more than I should be doing, and obviously losing weight. It's all about diet, but because of the situation that we're all in, and again, it's that frame of mind. We're trying to. It's comfort eating, isn't it? That's what it is. It's just surrounding yourself with what makes you feel good, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. We all know what we need to do once this is over. It's just we just do what we can at the time. So nobody's guilty of doing anything that they shouldn't be doing.
No.
Well, hopefully not.
Dunny, what beer have you got?
Right, Nez, well, you know me, I found this yesterday and I just thought it's a mango and guava pale ale.
Nice.
I've had mango, but I've never had mango and guava.
No, me neither.
It's called PNTA, as in like pinata.
All right, yeah.
And it's from the North Brewing Company. So
Now that's like something I would drink because it sounds sweet and not bitter.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. There are some craft beers, particularly IPAs and particularly fruity ones, that lager drinkers like. And one that we've mentioned on one of the previous episodes is neck oil. Most lager drinkers will like neck oil because it's very similar tasting.
Look at that for a colour, Nez.
Nice.
Yeah, I can definitely smell it. So,
Okay.
what percent's this one? I didn't look. 4.5%. Northern Brewing Company. So, oh, Nez, that's outstanding.
Well, I wish I could be there and have a glass of it with you, mate.
Yeah, we need to get some then, Nez. That's really nice.
So what are you doing then, Nez?
Well, so far on the show, I've done IPAs and I did a couple of Belgians just to try them, which they're not my favourite, but I am going to retry them. So I thought I'd try a stout. Now, this is a double stout. It's 5.2, so it's quite strong for a stout. Although, if you compare that kind of thing to an imperial stout, it's quite weak. But this is by Shepherd Neame, which is a brewery in Kent, which is where my wife comes from. So I thought I'd have a go at this double stout. So let's get it open.
When I hear the word stout, all I can think about is Coronation Street from years ago when they used to sit in the pub and the old days would have the stout.
Yeah.
Well, stouts become quite a trendy craft beer drink to drink because you've got stouts and then you've got imperial stouts, which are the really treacly, very strong 10, 11, 12% beers. And then, of course, like Dunny's drinking his mango and guava IPA, you can now get coconut stout, marshmallow stout, double chocolate stout, coffee stouts, which, some of those are incredible. So let's just have a try of this double stout. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
guys.
Yeah, it's a good, really nice. You can taste that malted kind of toasted hop thing that you get with stout, and it's not too strong. It's not like an imperial stout. At 5.2, it's maybe just a bit too strong for a session stout. But I could enjoy 2 or 3 of these all day long. It's beautiful. So on this special May the 4th episode, Dunny and myself are not going to be opening toys like we normally do, but we're going to talk to Keith about having an action figure, because I've got this one here of Goss Tours that you kindly signed for me at Burnley. So, first question, obviously, is what's it like to have an action figure?
Very surreal. Very surreal indeed.
I can say that.
Yeah, I remember when we were filming, and we got told that we had to go for photo sessions in full costume. And I had heard that these were for toys and for obviously for photos that would come out when the films come out. And you kind of don't really think anything of it. And then the first one that came out was actually the Lego figure there. And it was when we were, I think it was before the film, before The Force Awakens came out, I was going down to Pinewood for a fitting for the caretakers for The Last Jedi, because we were prepping on that film. And it's when I was down there that one of the girls that work in wardrobe came up to me and said, "Have I seen my Lego figure?" And I went, "What?" It was like, what Lego figure? What are you talking about? And she said, "Yeah, the Lego figure has come out of my character, which at the time, he didn't have a name." So obviously I got home, looked on the website and everything, and found out that he came with, he was about to come out on Force Friday, and he was part of Paul Dameron's X-Wing, his fighter X-Wing. And I looked on the box clothes and I was like, "Oh my God, that's actually my character." But he didn't have a name or anything. So it wasn't until after the film came out, and that's when they released the action figure. And there he is. And then they called him Goss Tours. So I was absolutely made up. And the good thing about this is that this is actually done on a 360-degree capture of me in the costume. So if you look around, that's actually me in the costume. And from what my wife says, when you stand him up, which takes a lot to stand him up, sometimes he actually falls over, just like it must be from the strong lager he used to have. But yeah, that's very impressive toy, and I just love it. I just absolutely, and I'm even now talking about it, and I still can't believe that that's based on a character that I play, in the film. Amazing.
It's like I've said to people when they bring these figures out, is when you're doing a film now to be an action figure, you want to be an interesting character, don't you? You don't want to be somebody who's unmasked. Yes, you might be able to see their actual face, but they make the characters out of the interesting sculpts, the puppets, the whatever you like to call it, the interesting creatures, don't they? A few people I've said have said, "Well, I don't know why I've not got an action figure." So because your face is boring.
Nice.
You know me, I like to compliment them, but it's just a normal face. There's nothing exciting.
So how long were you in the diplomatic corps, done it?
I've been in it years. But it's right, though, isn't it? There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing interesting about seeing a face in like a black costume, because they've been done. It's the characters that they want. It's like you. It's like PZ, PZ, and things like that. The interesting characters. That's what they make the molds of.
I think it's also because again, I mean, there's only one of him. So for me, that's great. There's only one Goss Tours. Only one Goss Tours. And they're saying, but when it goes to something like, and this isn't to sound, against anybody playing them, but stormtroopers, to bring a load of figures out that they're all the same, unless they've got something different added to that specific costume. They're all the same. And the same goes with actors when you see the faces, unless you're one of the main characters in the film, like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo or Leia, then people want to, don't want to see those faces. I was actually quite lucky, I think, really, with Ghost Tours, because when the Lego figure came out, it must have been a case of, I kind of think this is what happened. They would have been putting various things together and thought, oh, that creature looks interesting, because at the time, nobody knew how much you would see of these creatures in the film anyway. So it's not until it comes out, because when we were filming all these different scenes and everything, thinking, wow, this looks really good. I can't wait till the film comes out. But until the film comes out, you don't even know if you're going to make the actual film. So, of course, I'm sat there watching The Force Awakens, and I know the scenes that are filmed. So I'm there going, yeah, there's me, there's me, there's me. But then at the same time going, oh, that scene isn't there, or that isn't there, or oh, I thought there would have been more of that, because at the time of filming, they shot loads and we had to do loads at the time. So you don't really know. So I'm lucky that they actually picked him to go with Poe Dameron.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what you say, is because, I mean, as you know, I do a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what you're saying, because I've been stood right in front of camera and thinking, this is going to be a great shot. This is the one. And then when you see it on telly, it's like, really? It fascinates me how it does that.
Well, famously, I remember you telling me when you'd got that gig on Emmerdale that you know, front and centre. I walked past this car with the main characters in it. You can't fail to see me. And what they did is they changed to an interior shot of the characters, so you basically see his arm walk past the car.
The very first TV work I ever did was extra work, because that's how I started to get into various things. And the first extra work I did was on Brookside. And so I was dead excited, and I had to go to Liverpool to film, and it was at the bus depot in Wavertree. I'm thinking, this is going to be great, set up and everything, and I'm there with one of the main characters, and I've got to walk, in front of her and everything, thinking this is going to be brilliant. When it came out on TV, I'm watching, and all you saw was my backpack on my back. That's me, that's my backpack. And believe it or not, because of obviously this lockdown, I'm sorting everything out in the garden and pulling various things out of the shed. And I've still got the backpack that I wore in the shed.
Nice story. So, obviously, we know there's a figure of Ghost Tours. Do you think they'll do figures of your other characters, like the caretaker or the characters that you play in Canto Bite?
I would love it if they brought out the casino creatures, and he's called Terry Igmus, which again he got that name over a year later, which is again dead chuffed about. But for some reason the amount of toys they brought out after the Last Jedi came out seemed to not be as many as the Force Awakens. Like the Force Awakens did do a lot more, and I don't think they've done as many on the Rise of Skywalker from what I've seen in the stores.
No.
No, and it would be great. And the caretaker, again, the scene that I did was the deleted scene that ended up on the Blu-ray. A great scene, and there's only been, I think there's some characters that were brought out in small toys.
They've done the Funko, haven't they? They've done a Funko Pop of the caretakers.
Done a Funko Pop, and I think, but I'm not sure if it's one or two different ones.
There's two different ones. There's one of Katie with the rake.
That's right.
And there's just a general.
I think the other ones. I'm sure that's Nicky Bond's matron caretaker. She played.
Yeah.
But they're both in white, so they're the female versions of the caretakers. So that's all they brought out, and it's quite surprising. A lot of people, when I'm doing comic cons, will bring the caretaker and sign it. Of course, I go, I can't sign that. That's not me. That's
Yeah. I mean, when the films had finished after, you know, Sith and before The Force Awakens, the Disney trilogy, Hasbro said they would do every single character, even if they just walk past in the background for 2 seconds, every single character. But I guess now that the films are coming out thick and fast, and then you throw into that, you know, the TV series, Resistance, Clone Wars is being finished, Mandalorian, so on. They can't keep up with it, but it would be nice because there are certainly, you know, as a figure collector, there are figures that I would like to see, you know, brought out that don't exist. And I mean, for example, there are some key figures that still haven't been made into action figure form, like Lor San Tekka from The Force Awakens. He's a fairly major character right at the beginning of the movie. There is no figure of him. Cliegg Lars from you know, the prequels, again, quite a major character, but there's no toy of him. So, you know, maybe there's hope for the other characters further down the line when Hasbro get deeper into the characters.
Yeah, it would be lovely if they did do that, because there are so many creatures that again that you've just said that are major creatures or characters that are not made into toys. Same as that there are so many creatures and characters that you don't see in the film, but they were there filming, you know, part of the scene. And it's because they're absolutely amazing. These creatures are just amazing.
And I've got a question: is Goss? Did you play Goss again in The Last Jedi? I know that Natalie does Peasy again, and she's kind of just in short for a very quick thing where they're bringing Leia in after she's floated back to the ship. Did you reprise Goss for any scenes in?
I did, yeah. It's we did, you know, loads of filming, but when it came to what you actually see on the screen, it's blinking and you miss. The scene that I'm in is on the ship. It's when they're about to escape on Leia's ship, and they're taking poor Dameron. He's on the stretcher, being stretchered up, and you've got Leia talking. And I'm just in the background. I've just fueled the ship. I'm just walking away, and I start tinkering about with something else. But you can just see me, and I have. I can send you a picture of which scene it is. Anyway, I've not got. I should have brought a picture down. I've got some pictures.
I definitely missed that, so I need to look out for that.
Oh, I remember seeing him.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I remember seeing him. Definitely.
I'll definitely look out for that. Yeah. So basically, you've got 3 parts in Last Jedi.
Yeah. So it was playing Goss again, which always got close to my heart, and played Terry Bigmus in the Casino at Canto Bay. Again, didn't have a name at the time, and it got described to me as being a bit of a loser. So that's kind of how I played him, a bit of a loser in Canto Bay. All dressed all debonair, but every time he went to the tables, he would lose everything. And the same with I had to do a scene going chatting up one of the female creatures. And even in that, I tried to play him as if he was chatting to Rob, but she just wasn't interested till she turned away. And I was kind of, oh, great. But when it came out who he was, I thought, oh, great, that's really good. And obviously playing the caretaker, was an amazing. We had weeks of rehearsing on this scene that we shot. We did 2 night shoots for it, and obviously again it was a massive scene. There's about 16 caretaker characters in that scene. And again, it got cut, and it's a great
the thing with that caretaker scene. It was too much like, for me, it was too much like the Ewok village. It was the same type of scenario.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, and I think it's because obviously it's it didn't flow where they were placing it with with the film. So I understand that they had to cut that out of the way because it kind of detracted from what the story.
They should have cut a bit more of the film.
Yeah, you can probably tell from that, Keith, that Dunny's not a fan. I actually think it's the best Star Wars film.
Right, everybody's got their own opinion. It's the same with all the other, the original trilogy and then the prequels. I remember going to see when the prequel, The Phantom Menace, when that was coming out. I remember being dead excited and queuing up for tickets to take my kids to go see it. And that's what we had to do. And we went to watch it. And at the time, I was expecting to be the Star Wars that I knew. And when I saw it, I was like, all right, what was that then? And that was the initial at the time. And since then, I've seen it, and I know it's grown on me. But at the time, it didn't. And I didn't favour it. And I think that's the same way now with the new trilogy. That a lot of people, the same with The Force Awakens when that came out. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it, and I just love that film. And The Last Jedi, when that came out again, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. But I think it'll be something that, and the same with Rise of Skywalker. A lot of people, with that same thing, but it will grow on.
Keith, it's been an absolute joy listening to your stories. Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Keith,
enjoy the rest of your May the 4th.
Thank you for having me, and May the 4th be with you both.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.